Have you ever felt like you and your partner are speaking completely different languages? You both want the same thing, but somehow you just get lost in translation. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into that feeling of disconnect. We're going to look at a relationship through one person's eyes to really understand the logic behind a super common but often pretty confusing communication style. And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of it. These are the words of Daniel, the person whose perspective we're going to be following. It's that maddening feeling of aiming for the same destination but running on completely separate tracks. So, how on earth does this happen? To figure that out, we really need to get inside Daniel's head.
Now, to be clear, our goal here isn't to play judge and jury or figure out who's right. It's about stepping into someone else's shoes for a bit. By seeing the world through Daniel's eyes, using his own words, we can start to see how the exact same events can mean two totally different things, and maybe understand why he feels so misunderstood.
So what's really driving this whole dynamic? Well, it often boils down to something called attachment styles. Daniel sees his partner, Pollen, as having a more anxious style, looking for that closeness and approval to feel secure. He, on the other hand, sees himself as avoidant. He values his independence and can feel kind of smothered by that same need for intimacy. And right away, you can see how these two styles are on a collision course. Okay, let's see how this actually plays out in a really simple, everyday moment. We're going to start with a typical morning that perfectly sets the stage for a classic misunderstanding. So, the day kicks off. Daniel, he's an early riser. He's been deep in work mode since 6 a.m. Pauline wakes up a couple hours later, and it's in the little conversation that happens next, just a simple thing about getting an AC installed, where that first crack appeared. And here is where it all goes sideways. Pauline offers to help with the AC. Daniel first says no, then yes, but he tacks on that he's already been working for 2 hours. To Pauline, that sounds like a jab. She hears, "You're lazy." But in Daniel's mind, he's not criticizing her at all. He's trying to communicate his core value. He believes that having structure is the key to achieving things, and he wants that success and happiness for both of them. It's not a judgment, it's an invitation to his way of life. And this little tiff over the AC, it wasn't just a random one-off thing. From Daniel's perspective, it's a symptom of a much bigger daily pattern of stress, and it's all rooted in what he perceives as just overwhelming dependency.
From Daniel's point of view, two other things are adding to this daily tension: Pauline's son, Amon, and their dog, Marley. And what's really interesting here is that Daniel himself was the one who wanted to get the dog. But now, Marley is super attached to Pauline and has serious anxiety anytime she's not right there.
And this quote from Daniel, it really is the key to his whole way of thinking. He sees this constant dependency from the dog, from her son, as something that just completely drains Pauline's energy. From his avoidant viewpoint, she can't even take care of herself because she's so wrapped up in taking care of others. And to him, that has a ripple effect that hurts their entire life together. Okay, so the day is far from over. Let's fast forward to the evening, because another classic miscommunication is about to go down. This one is all about a simple invitation and a very complicated no. So later that day, Pauline, who's a musician, has a gig, and the stakes feel really high for her. She's been having some serious doubts about her whole career as a musician, and this performance almost even didn't happen. So, feeling pretty vulnerable, she asked Daniel to come along for support. And bam! Here's the second major misfire. Daniel's first answer is just no. For Pauline, who's already feeling shaky, this lands like a total rejection of her and her music. But Daniel's no has nothing to do with her performance, it's about the crowd. In his mind, support isn't about standing there and cheering, it's practical. It's an act of service. So he offers to come specifically to film her, to help her career. For him, that is support. But the message she gets is the exact opposite. So, after a day packed with these kinds of frictions, you have to ask, what's the way out of this? From Daniel's avoidant point of view, the solution isn't more talking or more togetherness. Nope. In his mind, the solution starts with independence. Daniel's roadmap for fixing things is, well, it's pure avoidant logic. He lays out this 3-step plan. Step 1, Pauline needs to focus on herself and bring some order to their apartment. Step 2, by doing that, she'll find personal clarity in her own happiness.
And only then, step 3, their whole relationship can finally relax. It's a solution that starts and ends with independence, not with them tackling it together. And this, right here, says it all. This is his core belief, just laid out plain and simple. For Daniel, the real problem isn't their communication. It's what he sees as Pauline's own lack of internal clarity. He's totally convinced that if she can just find herself first, everything else in their life together will magically fall into place. It's a fascinating idea, right? That the solution to a we problem is actually a you solution.
And all of this leaves us with a huge, crucial question. After seeing how one person's logic can be so crystal clear to them and so completely confusing to their partner, you've got to wonder, when communication styles clash this badly, whose job is it to build the bridge? Is it on the anxious partner to become more self-sufficient, or is it on the avoidant partner to learn how to step up and offer that reassurance? What do you think?